On live. Hi, my name is Joel Supernaw. I graduated from Bradley Brabonis in 1985.
My name is Mike Vickery. I graduated from Bishop McNamara High School in 1985.
All right, cool. So what we're doing here is, you guys can see we're dropping all of these videos right now. The YouTube channel is Bradley Mack, and the email address is Mac, M-A-C, Bradley, B-R-A-D-L-E-Y 4@gmail.com. What we're doing is we're spearheading two things. A, we would love to get the rivalry game, the football game between Bradley and McNamara back. But in the meantime, we're going to have a lot of fun. Sammy's Pizza is getting involved. We're putting a team together that will starting in, I think it's May. Starting in May on Friday nights at Sammy's, we're going to start with the 1961, 62, and 63 teams. We're going to bring them in, and we're going to put a video on them. We're going to talk to them about the game, how me and Mike did. If you guys have any stories that you want to tell, put your camera on yourself, hit enter, hit play, and then when it's done recording, send it to MacBradley4@gmail.com, and I'll post it on the website. Enough of that. Mike, how close to getting this damn game were you?
We were close. There were contracts sitting on administrators' desks, and they were pretty much all it would have taken was a couple of signatures, and we would have been playing.
Okay, now we shot a video before, but I forgot to hit play. In that video, you were telling me some things about some of the sticking points were a gate, the field, and your belief that Bradley really just doesn't want to play this game.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, the original contract came over from us over to Bradley, and then there were some adjustments made to it in regards to where we played the first year, and maybe not playing at Bishop McNamara and finding a neutral location the second year, and then our side adjusted it and sent it back, and we basically kind of said, look, to my knowledge, I understand, we said let's split the gates. So then there's no worries about if someone doesn't play the second year or whatever. There'll be a hefty buyout penalty. Everybody will split everything, and we play once at Bradley, and then we come back and play once at Mac. Bradley had some things go on administratively with their sports department, and then upon Mike Cole, who's the head Bradley football coach, when he took over as the AD and the head football coach, we got word back within a couple of weeks that Bradley had booked a different game, and that they were not gonna continue to pursue the contract.
So Cole's the guy that coached the team to get us to. I believe we got to the state finals. I believe I watched that game. And it went overtime and we lost. Now I don't know if that was.
I think it was the semis or the quarters.
Okay, that was probably the semis. Then I think I had it wrong. But anyway, so he is that coach that coached that team, kind of built the program back up, and now he is the AD. Is he wearing both hats?
Yeah, I believe so. From what I read in the papers when they announced it, he is. He's wearing both hats right now.
Now, is he a Bradley guy? Did he play it?
Oh, yeah, he is. He and his brother. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I wonder, now this game.
They're good athletes.
This game, when was the last time they played this game?
Last time they played this game was in 1998.
And the
first time they played it was in 61 when they were St. Pat's.
What's the record?
The record of the matchup, they played for 37 years, but there were 4 years that are either that they did not play, or maybe it wasn't tracked on the trophy. But I know in 75, 76, 77, it's not on the trophy. 96, they did not play. They took a break. So they might have been taking a break in the 70s. But of the 37 years, it's Mack 22, Bradley 9, and there's 2 ties.
Well, buddy, until you told me that, that just screams out at me ass kicking. And I know I was a part of one of those ass kickings getting delivered by you guys. But the reality is, it's bigger than the record. The distance between my high school, BBCHS, and your high school, Bishop Mack, can't be more than 1.5 miles.
Right. I don't think it's a mile. If it's a mile, straight down the street.
And what I want to hear,
One year it was awesome. I wasn't there, but I heard that you guys walked from Bradley to Mack and then beat us on our field and then took the trophy and walked back.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for that. That must have been a sight.
Whoever was a part of that team, I want that whole team up at Sammy's. And I live in Westland, Oregon, and I'm actually passionate about this. Me and Mike have been talking about it, for about 1.5 years about, what's going on. Hey, I think we got this game. They don't want to play this, that, and the other. My belief is that Mr. Cole, who is swinging the hammer on this, I think from Bradley's side, man, listen, brother, if you're going to build a program and it's going to be sustainable like Max, if you can't win your own house, you can't win your own town. And if you can't win your own town, you can't win your own state. And if you guys want to build state championships, man, there ain't no way in God's green earth somebody as successful as Mr. Cole has a yellow streak on his back. And I tell you what, being a former player, I think it's absolute bullshit that we don't go beat those kids like a goddamn drum for the next 14 years and get that trophy. Where is that trophy?
It's over my left shoulder.
Now, how did you get that?
Well, it's Super Bowl weekend, and I start to thinking about football stuff. No, I actually borrowed it from our trophy case. It's sitting in our trophy case, right in the middle, somewhere in between the first and fifth state championship.
Now I like that.
I'm gonna pepper you with a few. I'm just gonna pepper you a little.
That's fine, man. You got it coming. I can't believe it was 22-9. There's gonna be a lot of green up there at Sammy's Pizza. So I tell you, so my question, point blank to you, as a board member, somebody that really does care about this, is passionate about this, played in it. Would Bishop Mack ever back down from a football game with Bradley?
No, I don't believe so. But they also understand that there's once games that get decided to be played from the athletic department, both administrations get involved, and they also have, they have things that they have to work out, which is like, unfortunately, the red tape in this day and age is way different than it was back in the 80s when we played. I mean, so to agree with it, we're the ones who sent the contract over there. So we were trying to get the game. We were trying to get the game done.
Now on Bradley's side, what you said before is one of the sticking points was that they stood to gain nothing by it, only lose. So if they lose to Bishop Mack, it wasn't like when I played. You win your conference, you go to the state playoffs.
Yeah, you basically, the way the rules are now is pretty much anybody with a winning record can get in. So if you just come in and if you can get to 5-4, you got a really good chance of getting in the playoffs. 6-3, you're pretty much in. So the incentive went away from playing, non-conference games. That if you're constantly struggling to get a winning season, sometimes you want to stay away from games that you don't have to play outside your conference. If it's a coin flip whether you can win them or not, and that's been going on like all across the state with everybody tries to find teams that they can go into their conference undefeated, because they're trying to make the playoff.
I got a hard time thinking that's an everybody thing. I know in wrestling, man, programs that are steep with tradition, man, they wouldn't no more do any of that than the man on the moon, man. In for a penny, in for a pound. You do your work, you get paid for it. It seems like that what you're talking about is a weakness and a weak link coming from people that don't actually play the game, because the biggest thing is how can you and I compete against each other for our all up until high school? Me against you. You're playing for Azzarelli. I'm playing for Bradley. You're playing. How can we play all the way up until high school and then not compete against each other anymore? Man, as a competitor, that doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, it's a lot different now, Joel, because people are going, they travel 45 minutes to an hour and a half to play a football game. So it's kind of hard, because now you look across the field, and usually whoever the home team is, they got a bunch of people, and whoever the visiting team is, whoever came there, they had to travel an hour and a half to 2 hours to get there. So there's not a lot of crowds. So, I understand also culturally that over time, our culture is much more sensitive to competitiveness, to intensity. If anything bad happens at a group sport game, that the high schoolers, they talk about, let's not play each other. And the culture has changed, and that's why high school sports, it's difficult sometimes when I'm coaching on one side and I'm up in the booth and I'm looking across, and whether we're home or away, there's no energy coming from the other side of the field, because there isn't a ton of people at the game, because they had to travel.
Yeah, I'm shocked by that. Being involved in wrestling as long as I have, as whether it was an athlete, a coach, or just a contributor, man, we will do anything in the world for competition. And it seems like that this is just a big miss, man. because a lot of people are going to watch this and they're not going to truly understand all of this. So Kankakee is about 45 miles south of Chicago. But anyway, it's probably changed a lot since I've been gone. I've been gone since '86. It doesn't have that big city kind of attitude. It's got more of a small town attitude. Bishop Mack is a mile away, and we play in everything. We play, if
pretty much every other sport.
Well, look at this, Mike. Look at this. How would you feel as a competitor if every year I'm wiping the mat with you in the wrestling mat, and you don't get a chance to come back and stick it to me on the football field, and vice versa? That just seems like the kids, at the end of the day, the kids are robbed of a big opportunity, because I don't remember 6 high school games that I played, but I remember 3 of them, and it was against Bishop Mack.
Right. Yeah. Those are the games that I remember too. I had a chance to play in some pretty big stadiums in college, And I still remember the Mac Bradley, Mac Kankakee games, more vividly than I remember most of the games that I played in, I mean, so, and it's the thing is this competition and things like that, as everybody grows up and gets older, it prepares them for life. It also allows you to have something to talk about. I see guys, and like you and I will talk and joke and on Facebook go back and forth. Everybody's got buddies that they talk to that they played against. And then as you get older, all that stuff just becomes fond memories for everybody, win or lose.
Yeah, I tell you, that was the thing we talked about this morning was when we were coming up. Man, it was cool in the gang until high school, but once you hit high school, man, I was red and you were green. I'll talk to you in 4 years,
Right. That's pretty much how it was. Absolutely.
I was very shocked when you told me that Max only got 400 students.
Yeah, we probably got a little less than that right now, but that's the numbers that we've been at is 350 to 400 students, as of late.
Now, here, let me put you on the spot and ask you a couple questions. All right, so Mac has this incredible tradition in football. 5 state championships, been to the playoffs, 30 times. Zanani's beat, built an amazing program. You're a little school. You only beat the little guys. What's your answer to that?
Well, the answer to that is we played in one of the most storied and toughest conferences for probably the 20 years that we didn't play Bradley. We played in the Chicago Catholic League. So you're talking St. Rita, you're talking Joliet Catholic, you're talking Providence, you're talking St. Lawrence, you're talking some of the most storied programs in the state of Illinois, bar any size at all. And then also we play the teams we play in our conference right now. They're all 5A, and then our non-conference schedule was 5A, 6A schools. So for us, that just, we always kind of feel this whole McNamara versus everybody. Like we'll play anybody. We'll play anybody. The whole size of school, I think it. When you talk that, I think that's something that we program into the kids for the last 20 years. Because when I was at a basketball game, when we were in the state championship, our guys couldn't play at the All-City Classic last year. And our guys were going, let's play football, bop, 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 bop. The answer from the Bradley crowd was like, you're 3A, small school. So it's they've been programmed to say that. They've been programmed to say that.
It's a weak mindset. And
while we're playing basketball together, we're playing basketball against each other. But the reason we don't play football is because we're a small school. But you play us in basketball. It just makes no sense, and it's something that's been fed to the kids, and I don't think they understand the fun of the rivalry and really what all that means,
Well, I tell you, it's an interesting point when you say that's fed into them. It is fed into them. Weakness breeds weakness. Strength breeds strength. There's no reason in the world those teams shouldn't be playing against each other, especially when the green's ready to go. So, I'm going to close this up real quick and go over it again. The YouTube channel's Bradley Mac. We're going to get a Facebook group together. We're going to get a committee together that will arrange the meetings at Sammy's Pizza. Man, I can't wait to hear the story from the team that walked to Mac, whipped that ass, and got that trophy. And listen, Bradley, at least play one more time so you can get the trophy back from Vickery, goddammit. So,
even a blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while, Joel.
Well, we got 9 of them. we got 9 of them. But I bet there was some barn burner games. Read some of the scores of the games that were close.
All right. Let's take a look at this thing here. I've been storing bourbon in it. I'm in my bourbon bar. I've been putting bourbon in it. Just kidding. Let's see. I'll tell you some of these games in 61 it was 20-12. In 62 it was 18-12. In listen to this. Like in 68 it was 0-0. The next year in 69.
That's because everybody was at the goddamn war.
Yeah, 69 it was 8-8. So the very next year they tied again in a low-scoring game, and then Mac won the next one 8-3. Let's see some of the stuff. Some of the most lopsided victories ever were. I think I was looking at this because I wanted to see it.
85 was probably pretty ugly.
Well, 85, yeah, 85. It was 46-8 McNamara, and then the second worst loss in the history. I hate to inform you, was our senior year in 1984. It was 42-7.
Yeah, okay, so that was.
Let me give you a good Bradley. In 89, Bradley beat McNamara 34-13.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I like how that sounds. Sounds a lot better. So, I'm going to tie this up. We'll be posting this on Facebook. I'm going to throw some shout outs on my side. The Sears, the Ryans, the Doolin. Let's get this game going again. Let's get these kids playing. Somebody that knows how to use a camera and hit play, we would like you to join the committee. Hey, did all those pretty girls from Mac, did they end up being pretty when they got older?
Well, yeah, I think that's one of the things. I still see a lot of pretty ladies and volunteering, and now they got kids going there, and I guess so. I guess they didn't age any worse than you and I did.
All right, Vic. Hey, thanks, buddy. Let's get this game going. I cannot believe it's 22-9. Damn.
Let's play it. Let's let the guys play it, man. Let's let them sort it out and have some fun.
Yeah, and let's get that trophy back from the big kid.
Yeah. I'll see you, bro.
See you, brother.
Peace.